Let's learn about effective rates. The effective rate is sometimes called the annual percentage yield or the true interest rate. And what it is it's the equivalent simple interest rate that the money would have earned using that particular compound interest rate and that particular number of compounding periods. So if I think about my compound interest, we have A equals P times 1 plus R over M to the N. Okay, so in 1 year, there are M compounding periods. Okay, so what that means is that for 1 year, we have A equals P times 1 plus R over M to the M. Sorry, that should say M, which is really the number of compounding periods times the number of years. So in our case, if we do it for 1 year, we have M times 1, which is M, and that's what I just put into our exponent. Okay, in the simple interest, and we're going to let R be R sub E, which we're going to call the effective rate. So here we have A is equal to P times 1 plus RT. So that will be P times 1 plus effective rate times 1 year. So P times 1 plus R sub E. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to set these equal to one another. In other words, we're going to take the A from the compound interest formula, and so that gives me P times 1 plus R over M to the M. And then we're going to set that equal to the A we got doing simple interest, so that'll be P times 1 plus the effective rate. We divide both sides by P. And so now I have 1 plus R over M to the M is equal to 1 plus R sub E, our effective rate. So that means that R sub E has to be equal to 1 plus R over M to the M minus 1, which is exactly what you see in the formula here. That's where it comes from. So all it is converting to an equivalent annual simple interest rate. So let's find the effective rate for money invested at 6% compounded quarterly. So here, my compound interest rate is 0.06. My number of compounding periods is 4. So my effective rate, we have 1 plus R over M to the M minus 1. So 1 plus 0.06 over 4 to the 4th minus 1. So you should get about 1.06136 minus 1, which will be 0.06136. We want to write it as a percentage. So 6.136%. That's how we calculate the effective rate. We can use this to compare investments. Let's suppose that we have note A at 9% compounding monthly, or note B at 9.2% compounded semi-annually. This is an investment, which means we would prefer to have more interest. If we were looking for a loan, we would prefer to have less interest. Okay, so if we look at note A, this has a lower interest rate but it is compounded more often. Compounding more often is good for us as investors because we get more interest the more often it is compounded. If we look at B, it has higher interest, which is good for us as investors. And so we can't compare these without doing some kind of calculation. Now, if B had a higher interest rate and was compounded daily, so more often than A, we would know that note B is better. But as of now, we do not know that. We can't compare them because one of them has a better interest rate, but the other has a better compounding period. So we're going to calculate the effective rate for each of them. So for note A, my R is 0.09 and my M is 12 because it's compounded monthly. And so then my R sub E for A is, we have 1 plus R over M to the M, subtract 1. You should end up with 0.0938, so 9.38%. Now we're going to repeat the calculation for note B, which has an R of 0.092, and semi-annually means twice. Semi means each half year, so that is twice a year, so it is compounding 2 times per year. So my effective rate will be 1 plus 0.092 divided by 2 raised to the second power, because that's the number of compounding periods, minus 1. And we should get 0.094116 or 9.41%. And so as an investment, note B is better because as an investor, we want the higher interest rate. Okay, remember if it asked you which note would be better for you as a borrower, you would prefer note A. Another way to approach this problem would be you could calculate using the compound interest formula. You could calculate the future value of, say, $100 or $1, $1,000 or $53, whatever you like. Just use the same amount for each year. And then you would do this for each note or for each account. And then whichever one resulted in the most money would be your better investment. And you will find if you try that, you will also find out that note B is the better investment. I hope this helped you to understand the effective rate of interest. Good luck, and I will see you next time.